preferred to fast during this month as much as he could, so as perhaps that would be a means of pleasing Allah, the Most High. I would encourage you from a practical standpoint to begin practicing fasting now. Don't wait until Ramadan. Try to fast a few days if you can to get yourself ready for the month. So when it does come, it's not a shock to your system. Not only that, but it's an opportunity to come closer to Allah. So that's my little small reminder for you. We ask Allah to grant all of you a blessed month of Sha'ban, the 8th month, and even a more blessed month than the month of Ramadan. Ameen.
So, all right, perfect. Thank you, Shaykh Jibreel. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions. Again, question policy very simple. If you have a question, you raise your hand. Any question is perfectly fine, particularly because Ramadan is right around the corner. So if you have any Ramadan-related questions, you are most welcome to ask them. Bismillah, who will start us off?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Sheikh. It's very good to see you here again. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I had a question. We had a session last time. We had another scholar, Sheikh, who came and answered a lot of questions about do's and don'ts of Ramadan. So one of them was about, this is for our sisters, when a woman is in her periods, she cannot fast in Ramadan, right? And how does she make up for it? Does she fast after the Ramadan is over?
Brother wants to know, recently there was a session on the do's and don'ts of Ramadan. And the question is that if a woman is not allowed to fast in the month of Ramadan if she is going through her menstruation cycle, or if she's going through post birth bleeding, or if she is pregnant and she fears that it's going to cause harm to her fetus. Those are the three. Or if she fears that if she has a child and the child is breastfeeding, that the fasting would dry up her milk in her bosom if she is breastfeeding. Those are the four. And so the brother wants to know specifically about the woman who is in the menstruation cycle during the month of Ramadan. What is she supposed to do? She makes up her days after Ramadan, not during the Eid as well. We're talking about the day after the Eid al-Fitr, which I gather has been talked about. I don't know. So she can fast any time after the Eid, make up those days with the intent of making up those days. So she has from the second day of the 10th month of the Muslim calendar until the final day of the 8th month of the year after that. Okay, you're most welcome.
Questions? Anthony, as you're walking in, you have to ask a question.
It's the traffic and everything, man. People just chilling, It's Friday night.
And
got another question, mashallah.
But I just wanted to give everyone. Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm just trying to understand more. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
You do not have to give a disclaimer.
Okay.
Just ask your questions.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
It was mentioned that if one is traveling for more than 50 miles, they don't have to fast. But if somebody wants to fast, irrespective of whether they're traveling or not, that's okay, right? During Ramadan.
The brother wants to know with respect to Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Alhamdulillah. The brother wants to know with respect to travelers. The first issue is, when is a person considered a traveler in Islamic law? Scholars have different interpretations, etc., from the prophetic traditions. I'm not too sure if it's 50 miles. It's, what is it? I would think about kilometers. How many else in kilometers? I forgot. Is that 50 kilometers? Huh? Thank you. 50 kilometers. which is approximately 75 miles or something like that. I do the conversion. I completely forgot, but let's work with that number. The person that wants to travel, let's say they want to go to from John Wayne. That's the closest airport here. Okay, John Wayne, and they want to go to Oakland, for example. The person will leave the house. They get to the airport. They get on the plane, and once they know that they have left the city limits, the general limits of the town that they're from, SoCal. Once they leave the limits of SoCal, prior to that, before that, they need to make the intention that they're a traveler. Okay? We're going to go through this step by step, try to be as precise as possible, okay? You're most welcome. So I'll use me as an example. I'm about to go to a conference in Oakland for whatever reason. I get on the plane. Hello, how are you? Strap in, say my prayer for traveling. And just before we take off, I make the intent that I'm traveling, okay? Boom, I'm out the limits. Let's say the edge of the table is the edge of Southern California. Once I go past the edge, I'm now officially a traveler. Okay, it's Ramadan. And let's say I travel at nighttime. For example, I travel at nighttime. Checked into my hotel. The next day, or prior to that, before I go to bed, I have to make a decision. Do I want to continue fasting or not? I have that option now. So I decide, you know what? I'm not going to fast. I'm going to break my fast because Allah has given me that concession. Okay? So I break my fast, etc., etc., etc. And then when I come back, I get back into the resident mode. I was a traveler, now I'm back in, I'm a resident. Once I'm a resident again, I gotta fast. There is no, I don't fast anymore because I'm no, you're not traveling anymore. Okay, so I was out, let's say for a whole weekend, 3 days, I was in Oakland, for example. Okay, those 3 days I gotta make up. When? From the second day of the 10th month until the final day of the 8th month of the following year. So I got a whole year to make up those days of fasting. All right. But wait a minute. There's some other brothers or sisters. They said, nah, man, I'm going to continue fasting. Okay, you have that option. Go right ahead. Do it. And then you don't have to make up your fast. So you have either or. All right. You're most welcome. Most welcome. All right. Want to walk you through that. What else you got?
Can I ask?
And then after that, this brother here, he got a question.
Can I ask one more question? Yeah.
Go ahead. You got the mic.
Yeah. It was said that you cannot take medications during like the fasting time, right? Like after dawn time and before Maghrib. So for those who need to take medications, what is the recommendation?
The brother's asking about people that may have to take medication. It's an excellent question. First of all, it depends on the sickness of the individual, okay? So the first thing that needs to be done is to have an honest conversation with your trustworthy doctor, okay? In the books of Islamic law, they'll tell you that, the scholars of jurists will tell you that it's preferred that you talk to a Muslim doctor because they are the most knowledgeable. They understand. They also are trained in medicine, but they have the extra layer of having the empathy of you being a Muslim. But if that's the case wherein your doctor is not Muslim, you should talk to your doctor and be frank with that, honest with your doctor. Say, listen, I'm a Muslim and the holy month of fasting is coming up. I want you right now, I want your medical opinion. This medication that I take, usually during the day, if I don't take it throughout the day, is it going to be, what is the possibility or percentage, or even from a scale from 1 to 10, however you want to scale it, wherein the harm is greater than the effect? the harm of fasting. If the doctor says, listen, I'm aware of the Muslim fast or the Muslim fast, however they want to say it. I'm aware of the fast, okay? And in my medical opinion, if you do not take this medication during the day, that the harms, medically speaking, are going to be greater than there will be greater if you don't take them if you don't take the medication. Okay, so now I got to take the medication throughout the day. I got a medical excuse now. That means you can eat. Okay, you don't earn the sin. That's very important. Okay, so what can I do? What you can do is you look at your bank account and then you figure out, okay, bet I want to feed one poor person, not a rich person, one poor Muslim every day. Alrighty? So you can talk to Jamal, for example. Jamal, does this mosque have a program where I can do that? Yes. Okay, boom. All right. Set it up in your bank account if you have to, whatever you have to do. Or find some other mosques that feed the poor Muslims, the poor Muslims. There are plenty of poor Muslims in Southern California. Trust me. Okay. So that's what you can do. However, let's flip it. The doctor says, I don't see medical risk in your situation if you were to fast. All right. But you're going to have to make sure that as soon as it's sunset, you take your medication. Boom. Got it. That means you're going to fast. You understand? So you see the differences, okay? May Allah bless you.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
I have one last question.
All right, go ahead, brother.
For those of us who are living in non-Muslim countries such as US, during Ramadan, are we required to eat only halal food, whether it's like pre-dawn meal, suhoor, or after on the iftar one?
The brother wants to know with respect to our diet, whether we're fasting or not, we Muslims are required to eat meat that's been slaughtered by the Muslims. By the Muslims. What that mean? That means this. If I go to Vaughn's, Albertsons, Sprouts is dope though. They got the Wagyu beef and everything, but I still can't eat it. Why? It wasn't slaughtered by the Muslims. Unless I know definitively that meat came from the Muslims, don't eat the meat. So where do I go? You can go to Brookhurst. They got meat store. They got halal meat stores there. You can go. Where you live, brother? Anaheim Hills or Anaheim? Ain't that snooty? When I first moved here, this is a side note. When I first moved here, right? People told me, "Oh no, I live in Anaheim Hills." Okay, what that's supposed to mean? This is Anaheim, all right? This just mean a higher tax bracket. So what? Anyway, I live in Anaheim Hills. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry about that. Okay. You can go to Brookhurst. If you're in my neighborhood, you can go to Fresh Choice. There's a halal food, halal restaurant, meat store there. We thank Allah that in SoCal, amongst the things that we have a plethora of, Muslims like to eat, man. You know what I mean? They want to make sure the halal, you check the halal stamp. It's halal. I bet. So I'm just saying to you that no, brother, you need to find a halal. Okay? Seafood, for those of you who don't know, seafood is all halal. Seafood, salmon, shrimp, scallops, crab, it's all that's halal. Okay? Did I answer your question? Eggs and all that. Pork you can't eat, obviously. You can't have the pork. You can't have stuff that's cooked in the liquor and the wine or whatever. You can't have that. Other than that, go ahead and enjoy your food. All right. Make dua for all of us too. Make supplication for all of us. May Allah bless you. Of course. Barakallahu feek.
Another question, brother?
Nah, he good, man. He good. He's all right. He good.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam rahmatullah.
Just a follow-up question about the traveling. I plan to travel to back to Mexico. So
if you have what now?
Travel back to Mexico.
Okay.
That will make me resident in Mexico again. So I will lose my traveler status in some point. I mean, the trip will take me like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
It will take effort. I worried about this part of fasting during in this time because I am resident right now here.
You're a
Well,
resident here.
Yeah,
And when you go back to Mexico,
and will be resident there.
you're a resident there.
Yeah. So you say you tell about the status of resident traveler, traveler resident.
All
How it
right.
works in that
That's
way.
a great question. You got a house there? You got a place to live there and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you are a unique situation. Unique situation, meaning that, oh, I'm sorry. What's your name, brother?
Hakim.
Hakeem?
Yeah.
Hakeem. Brother, what was your name? Brother, what's your name? Your name Arnold? Nice to meet you, brother. All right. We have here Brother Hakeem saying, listen, I'm a resident here, and I'm also a resident in Mexico as well. So in other words, when I get on that plane, in between the 2 points, I'm a traveler. Yes, you are. When I get and land in Mexico, I consider myself to be a resident. Okay. Then you got to fast. That's how it works. Okay. That's how we get off that plane and kiss your loved ones. How you doing? This, that, and the third. And then you start fasting. Right. That's it. Boom. Okay. So may Allah help you. But let me tell y'all something. A lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, traveling has different challenges. Hopefully, Allah willing, fasting will not be one of them. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And may Allah grant you success. All right. By the way, I don't know much about Mexico. Where you live, are there a lot of Muslims nearby?
Yeah, I traveled in Mexico, but all the Muslims there are foreigners, are from Pakistan, Iranis. I was the only Muslim
Oh, nice.
Mexican in my masjid over there.
Oh, okay. I hope you look for them, find them and everything so you can be around them, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. All right, may Allah bless you. All right.
Shaykhna, we have a question here online regarding tattoos.
Allah.
A new Muslim community member saying, I have 2 tattoos. They are both covered by my modest clothing. One is flowers and a hummingbird. The other one is a 5-row Buddhist prayer that I got in Thailand. Some people have told me I need to remove it. What should I do?
So what I'm understanding from the question that the brother or sister got the tattoos before embracing Islam. Is that right? You don't do anything. You're not required to take off your tattoos and nothing of that nature. You're not. All right. So, and I want to say something about these type of things because this happens quite often. I want all of you to remember something, and I've said this many, many times throughout my course of work, going on this journey with different new Muslims throughout 7, 8 years with the IIOC's Dawah department, Islamic Invitation Department, which is this: you need to always ask when someone tell you you got to do something or you can't do something. Your next question should be, after you thank them, you should ask them, what is your evidence from the Quran and the prophetic traditions? That's what I want to know. I'll say that again. What is your evidence from the Holy Quran or the prophetic traditions? That's what I want to know. Okay? If they don't have any evidence, you gently say, thank you very much. May I suggest you and I speak to a scholar? Okay? That's what you do. So again, you do not have to take off. Why is it that I'm emphasizing this point? So now I got to give you a story. When I accepted Islam, and I thank Allah for guiding my heart to Al-Islam, you understand? I was taught that from the very beginning. It's about Quran and about the Sunnah or the prophetic traditions and how the companions understood the Quran and the prophetic traditions. All right? And I was also taught that you're going to be told X, Y, and Z. You ask them, take it back to what Allah and His Prophet said. Peace and blessings be upon them. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Why do I say that? Because in the fourth chapter, it says there, O believers, obey Allah and obey His messenger and those who are in authority. And whenever you have dispute in a matter, then return it to Allah and His messenger. if you claim to be, or if you claim to be believers and believe in the final day. That is best for you, and that is the best explanation. Okay? So when somebody tell you, look, you got to do this, you got to do that, you should ask them gently, calmly, you have any evidence for that? No? Okay, etc. What's my evidence to say you don't have to take it off? Okay? What's my evidence for that? There's no evidence to show that you have to take it off. That's why. That's why. You ain't got no evidence for that. Okay? In fact, we have situations where companions may have done things before they accepted Islam. Okay? And they questioned the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, about it. And nothing was they weren't told to change this, that, and the third, unless it directly was harmful to them or something of that nature. That's the idea. Okay. So please keep that in mind. All right. Your tattoos, you could look at it as a reminder of how you used to be before you accepted Islam. That's how you can look as a man. That's how I used to be back in the day. Yes, that's how I used to be back in the day. Okay. And then you thank Allah for that reminder. You can look at that, use that as a reminder, and Allah knows best. So next question.
Yeah, Sheikh, I was waiting for you to say that because you said that beautiful, the last part where you look at your old tattoos and it reminds you of where you came from and how Allah guided you to Islam, right?
That's right.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So just to confirm, so regarding covering it up though, they don't need to cover it up either?
No,
Or?
you don't have to cover them up as well. Now, with respect to the Buddhist, is it a Buddhist monk or something of that nature or what? Yeah, you know what? In that situation like that, you don't have to cover it, okay? You don't have to cover it, but at the same time, use wisdom. Use wisdom, okay? Which is to say that if you're concerned that maybe somebody might assume something differently, and you don't feel like going through a tit for tat and this, that, and the third, then cover it. All right, that's probably the wisest thing to do, and that also keeps the peace within your heart and your soul, and same with that individual, because the ultimate goal is to reduce the amount of unnecessary dispute between the Muslims, and Allah knows best.
And I thank you and all of our scholarship that sits at the table and says that, because we're so blessed. I remember day one to today of how our brothers and sisters embrace Islam. Some of them may be having tattoos, but now the community being educated about this matter. And we're not perfect. We have our shortcomings,
Sure.
but still like embracing our brothers and sisters and not seeing them because of their tattoos. You understand, right? Which is very beautiful. So I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. One final thing. You know what's kind of wild? Let me tell you what's wild. When a brother or sister is a Muslim, born and raised Muslim, and they somehow, the devil painted this beautiful picture of the culture, the hip hop culture, or the music culture, or any of the so-called street culture. And then they decide, yo, I'm gonna put a tattoo on me. Now that's wild. All right? That's wild. Okay? Despite the fact that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said anyone who puts a tattoo on him gets cursed by Allah. You know that, so now you know. Okay? You shouldn't do it, of course. I'm not talking about you, brother and sister, with the tattoo before Islam. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these Muslims that are out here right now thinking that, yeah, I'm Muslim, but you know what? I love this stuff. Let me put a tattoo on me. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's impermissible. That's forbidden. Don't do that. And you need to repent. Now that's wild. That's wild. May Allah protect us.
I mean.
I see the brother here. He's got a
Michael
question.
Trent? Yes, sir.
Brother Michael. Brother Michael, my man.
I have something related to that because my New Year is coming up, and my family is a mix of Buddhists and Catholics, but both sides is actually have something similar to offering food to the dead. Sort of at Catholic sides, we have this little altar too, but we have like this food and incense and everything for the dead too. Is this allowed? Can I even come into my own family's house?
You can come into your parents' house. Of course you can. You can visit them and everything.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm gonna surrounded by pagan stuff, so that's why I'm asking.
You know what? How are you going to be? Are you going to, I don't know, are you going to bend and do stuff that they're going to do, or you feel that you're a strong Muslim? I need to ask you that question.
It's strong enough, and it's my New Year is actually landed on the 17th, so I believe it's on the first day of Ramadan too.
Okay. All right. So, you know yourself the best, brother. And since you just said, listen, I'm a strong Muslim, may Allah continue to make you strong, you'll be fine. Okay? You'll be fine. Okay? All right. May Allah bless you, grant you the strength and success. And invite the people to Islam. Make sure that you talk to people about Islam in a nice, subtle way, nice, cool way, if you can. If you can. All right? Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I don't know. May Allah grant you wisdom. You got it. You got this, inshallah. Allah willing.
Inshallah. Shaykhna, another
No.
question here online, if it's okay. Question is, a sister told me touching between genders in professional setting, between provider and patient, or between those of our family who are non-mahrams, breaks our wudu, our ablution. I was under the impression from Sheikh Tariq that the only thing that breaks wudu is going to the restroom to alleviate biological needs.
Yeah, could you read that again?
Yeah. A sister told me touching between genders.
Touching between genders.
Yeah.
Okay.
In parentheses, in a professional setting, between provider and patient, or between those of our family who are non-mahrams, end of parentheses, breaks our wudu.
Okay. So you will find in the books of Islamic jurisprudence in the chapter of purification, the things that nullify one's state of purity. And you'll find scholars saying touching the opposite sex if it generates a certain type of feeling. You understand? What did I say? If it generates a certain type of feeling. All right. I will not go explicit with that. Okay. So that's the only time you might find that you might find some scholars saying that. Otherwise, if a person touches a person of the opposite sex, that does not nullify one's state of ablution. Okay. All righty. And Allah knows best.
Perfect. Thank you. Sister side. Morena?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Is there a reward for
Sister,
someone?
sister, excuse
Yes,
me. could
sorry.
you-
Yes, I can. Is this better? Is this better?
Yes, thank you.
Is there a reward for someone building a space that a Muslim is able to perform wudu?
Is the-
So this person, for example, would be non-Muslim.
all right.
Yeah.
Ask me the question again,
Yes.
nice and clear, if you
Yes.
don't mind.
For non-Muslims or family, inshallah, of course, they become Muslim. Is there a reward for someone building a space that a Muslim is able to perform wudu or just perform other acts of worship? And I'm asking this, especially if they were not expecting it to be used for acts of worship of Allah, and it wasn't built with that intention.
Okay. Please don't be mad at me.
Oh, okay.
MashaAllah, the beautiful, beautiful baby. That's okay. What's his name? Nasir. May Allah make him a Nasir for Islam. Make a helper for Islam. I mean, it's a cute baby, MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar. He rocking that's the real afro. No Jerry curl on that joint too. MashaAllah. I like that joint. MashaAllah. May Allah bless him. May Allah protect him. I love it. Okay. One more again. Could you ask me that one more time, please? Please,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Yes, Bismillah. For our non-Muslim family, inshallah, they become Muslim. Allahumma ameen. Is there a reward for them building? For example, I went to Mexico. My grandfather had built that home. He built a space, and I was able to perform wudu and pray. Is there a reward for people who do things where Muslims are now able to do acts of worship, or because they don't have the oneness of Allah, foundation of Islam that not necessarily on the day of judgment they will get these rewards.
Mhm. Okay. You under? Astaghfirullah. 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 May Allah forgive me. I'm having problem with my hearing. I really am. Astaghfirullah. Did you hear it? What she said? Y'all heard what she said? All right. Everybody over here heard it but me. I only heard bits. I heard like parts of it. I'm so. All right. Y'all help me out. What'd she say?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You hear me well? All right. So let's say, okay, I'm a practicing, believing Muslim. I travel to Singapore, okay, and I have an immediate family member who is non-Muslim, also known as my sister. Okay. She respects my Islamic faith and practice. I pray 5 times a day. So in the guest room, she builds a spot and provides me a sajada prayer mat and a prayer hijab, prayer clothes, for me to pray. So the question, from my understanding of the sister, will that non-Muslim family member get the reward of Allah for supplying me a place to pray and do my salat? Will they get the word from Allah even though they don't have the oneness of Allah and even though they are not Muslim?
All righty.
Right.
I appreciate that very much.
It's Zakir.
May Allah bless you both for that. MashaAllah. And please forgive me for not hearing very well about that. Your sister will get rewarded, Allah willing, in this life. Your sister will be rewarded for helping you in this life. If she accepts this, when, Allah willing, when, not if, when, Allah willing, she accepts Islam, then that reward, then that action that she did when she was a non-Muslim will be brought over as a Muslim and with an opportunity to even be doubled in reward in this life and the hereafter. So once again, in summary, your sister who is currently non-Muslim, may Allah guide her to al-Islam, Ameen. She is eligible for reward from Allah in this life. If she accepts, or when she accepts Islam, the same reward or same action that she did could be transferred as a Muslim, and the reward will be multiplied even more in this life and the next. And Allah knows best. Thank you. You can't hear me? You hear me now? Thank you. She made it clear. You hear that? Yeah, okay. Yes, I hear that. I got it. Okay. All right. That's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. All right. What else?
Just a reminder, we try to fix the clock. That's not accurate. So if you're looking at, even though I would love that, but it's 7:02. So we have maybe 5 minutes or so, or maybe we'll take a few more extra minutes. And then 7:30, we have Isha, number 5 per inshallah. So
what else y'all got? What else y'all got?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Luis. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I forgot to announce in the beginning, as you guys know, every session we translate from English into Spanish. So if anybody prefers to listen to this in Spanish, please let us know. Luis is kind enough to translate simultaneously.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Now what y'all do to that? Do the young brother? He was doing good, man. What you do to that young brother, man? Y'all made him mad, man. Don't do that to young brother, man.
You sensed the question I was gonna ask. My question was, if a brother marries a sister that is a non-hijabi, is he considered a dayuth? And what is exactly a dayuth?
Man, why would you ask me that question, man? Just before couldn't be.
I could ask you another question.
Couldn't be a question on can we eat the Little Caesars pizza? Couldn't be about something like that. You asked me just oh my goodness. Okay. The question is, a brother marries a sister Muslima who does not wear hijab. Is this brother considered a dayuth? And what is a dayuth? First of all, a dayuth. That's the first thing. A dayuth is the Arabic word describing a man who is pleased that his wife is inappropriately dressed in the public. And the meaning of inappropriately dressed in Islam is that the woman is not exercising what Allah has commanded her to wear on the outside, which means that she's not wearing her hijab, she's not wearing loose clothing, and everyone can see how Allah created her, for lack of better words, and the brother is pleased with that, then yeah, we fear that this individual is falling into that description. Allah the Most High has made it very clear that the men are, as far as the men have been placed to take care of the women. This should not be meant that the men are some sort of oppressor or dictator or anything of that nature. Far from it. Rather, what it means is that Allah has placed greater responsibilities on the man, and one of them is to take care of the affairs of the home, starting with his woman, his wife. And then after that, his daughters, if he has any. Okay? So, this question actually brings up a bigger issue, which is the following. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, had mentioned that a man marries a woman for one of four reasons. For one of four reasons. Their beauty, their wealth, their status, and their, we'll translate it as religion, but we talk about religion / way of life, the practice of Islam. And the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, marry women based upon the practice of the religion. You'll be at ease. You'll be at ease. You see? So any brother who does this, I don't know if they got any training or any counseling about the importance of finding women. Back in the day, we used to say women who were deenin, right? The deenin women, Deenin, deenin. She deenin, he deenin. In other words, is the brother going to the masjid, to the mosque? Is he praying? Is he fasting Ramadan? Is he good to his parents? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? All right. Does he tell the truth? Is he upright? Etc. Same thing with the women. Does she cover? Does she pray? Etc. So I don't know, but we ask Allah Ta'ala to guide. We ask Allah the Most High to guide them in their situation. But the brother needs to, I hope the brother will realize that he's got a huge responsibility on his shoulders, and just allowing the wife, and this is a problem we see in communities. We find our brothers who have been born and raised Muslim, they have their women folk not covered, not practicing proper dress code, and then they justify it by saying, well, it's a culture. Well, that's what we used to do. Well. Okay. Day of judgment. We hope that Allah will have mercy upon you. That Allah knows best.
Sorry, Sheikh.
All right. think we have time for maybe one, possibly two questions. There you go.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, look, my question is, will our good deeds that that were performed prior to accepting Islam be brought up on the Day of Judgment?
What a beautiful question. The sister wants to know the good deeds that we did before we embraced Islam. How will Allah judge those? Allah knows best. The good deeds that you did, they'll be transferred over. They'll be transferred over, and they'll be weighed, Allah willing, on the side of the good deeds. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Let me add something as well. For those of you who were practicing Christians, like really to the bone, practicing Christians, okay? For those of you that were about Christianity, like really serious about Christianity, not Christian by name, like yours truly, right? Those who were serious about being a Christian. You know, there's a verse in the Quran. It mentions that who accepts Islam while they were practicing as either Jew or Christian, when they accept Islam, they get a double reward. They start out with a double reward compared to people that did not. So for those of you that were serious about your Christianity or your Judaism, before accepting Islam, then you accepted Islam after that, you get a double reward from the very beginning. Not only are your sins forgiven, and all the evil that you did before is forgiven, you get a double reward, and the good deeds that you do placed on the scales of the good part, the good side of your scales. As for those who did good deeds without necessarily connecting themselves to a religion, but they did good deeds, Allah is the most generous and He's the most merciful. Allah has not forgotten, as Allah never forgets, all the good that you did. It's brought over. It's brought over for it to be examined and hopefully rewarded for in this life and hopefully in the next life. And Allah knows best.
Can we take a few more minutes?
We can take a few more minutes. It's fine.
I appreciate it.
I came
maybe
late,
time-
so you know that's fine.
Okay, inshallah. Time for Jesus. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just wanted to know if it's okay for me to sit down and have conversations with my mom. She's a Jehovah's Witness and she lives in Mexico. So when I go and visit her, she kind of likes to talk to me about the Bible and everything. But I don't want to be rude and be like, hey, mom. She understands that I'm Muslim and she supports it. But I also don't want to shut her down. So I said, okay, for me to sit down and listen to her.
That's my man, Nasir. That's my man, mashallah. That's my man. He want to be with his dad, man. He said, bro, I want to be with my dad, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got with the dad, man. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless your family. Brother, why would you not want to sit with your moms? I don't understand that.
No, I do. I just want to make sure there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't understand that. All right, they're non-Muslim. Look, they're gonna talk about the 100,000. They're gonna talk about the watchtower. All right, I'm talking about that. All right. When they finish, so look here. Let's put that aside for a minute. I want to talk to you about Jesus. Can we talk about Jesus? Yeah. All right, let's talk about Jesus, and then just go from there. All right, let her say what she has to say and everything, and just talk to her, man. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you, man. You're gonna talk about the watchtower. What is that? Anybody teach you otherwise? You need to look at them kind of like, nah, I don't know about you, bro. Serious, okay? That goes for everybody here, man. Talk to your family members, man. They non-Muslim, they gonna talk about this, that, and the third, man. All right, whatever, man. Whatever. All right. I know people. Give an example. I know a family, right? All their family non-Muslim. Member of the member of the family has experienced a health issue, right? And so they said, Now check this out. The mom calls and says, I told my church about you, and we all prayed. We've been praying for you. So now what? I'm saying, nah, ma, I don't want that. What is that? That's not from Islam. All right? The way of the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was that the prophet was a gentleman. All right? He was extremely concerned about everybody being a Muslim. Okay? And this might be your way of slowly scratching the surface to get her to eventually listen to why Islam is true. And Allah knows best.
And then Jesus, you can rock one of our shirts here. Yo amo a Jesus porque soy musulman.
Get that for her, man.
It's a
Get
good
that
plug
joint
for our
her.
merch right there, mashallah.
Get
Basically,
that-
I love Jesus because I'm Muslim in Spanish.
Get that for her.
Oh, Sheikh's with it, man. All right, we have time for maybe one more question, inshallah. Who wants to close it out for us? Yes, Luis.
That's a lighter question, inshallah.
It's okay.
How can one differentiate what the nafs want versus the tricks of the shaitan?
How can one differentiate between?
What the nafs want and like when it comes to sin, what the nafs want and
The waswas.
or yeah,
The whispering of the devil and what?
like what the nafs want. Like
nafs.
because more a lot of brothers or people they always blame shaitan, but like I feel like there's a lack of self accountability because I know like the nafs also wants things. The best I just want to get your opinion because like the best thing I heard of this was like the nafs like when it's like a specific sin that's calling whatever nafs. It's like usually something specific versus the shaitan. It's do I wait?
Let him finish, then we can continue. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. 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 الله أكبر، الله أكبر. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله رضينا بالله ربا بالإسلام دينا وبمحمد رسولا اللهم رب هذا الدين وصلاة قائمة آت محمد الوسيلة والفضيلة وبعث القول الذي وعدت إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. Question.
Bismillah. Yeah, the best way I know, or thing I heard, like how to calculate, like the nafs usually wants one specific thing versus the devil like doesn't care what sin it is. He just wants you to sin.
Okay. The Holy Quran mentions the following types of, first, we need to understand that the soul is something that's of the unseen. And so we know very little about the actual nature of the soul. The eternal creator Allah has created us with souls, and he also has informed us that he has inspired the soul to recognize evil from righteousness. And there are three types of souls that are mentioned in the Holy Quran. The first one is the soul that is a constant commander to evil, a constant commander to evil. Another soul is the one that is going and battling between doing not so good stuff and doing good stuff. That soul, that second type of soul, is a soul that when a person falls into or does things that are impermissible or blameworthy, that the soul, that type of soul starts to criticize that individual, And then you have the soul that all of us are trying to achieve, we hope, which is the soul that is completely at ease. In other words, the soul is completely at ease. And what does that mean? The soul that has been effective enough with the help of Allah to overcome and fight the whisperings of our enemy and his offspring, the devils. Every individual has a, they call it jinn, Jinn. Every one of us has something, this type of demon that is encouraging us to do things that would distance us from Allah. It doesn't happen with a snap of a finger. It could start something like this. Someone might be at home and they say, why don't you just get a subscription to Netflix? All right. See, he ain't with that. See, no, he ain't say, nah, man, nah, huh? Right? How much is Netflix? I have no idea, but you get the idea. It's a subscription fee. It's not that much money. It's okay, cool. And then you set the settings up, this, that, and the third. It's only what 15, 16. I don't know how much it is now. Them cats, man, they would take your money anyway. And then you got Netflix, and then you see, oh, there's a football game on. I like football. Yeah, but Sheikh Muhammad Zahid is having a class on how to fast. That's okay. I'll look it on YouTube. Huh? And the next thing you know, something else happens. And then something else. And then something else. You went from praying in the mosque and congregation to praying at home. And then after that, you decide to delay your prayer. And then after that, you decide you don't want to pray. And then next thing you know, you disbelieve in Allah. That's the ultimate goal. You understand? So I try to get you this quick picture because that is the goal of our enemy, is for him to encourage us to be disbelievers. That doesn't happen with a snap of a finger. It happens with a very slow yet steady process. And the one that can defeat their enemy is the one that tries their best to stay connected to Allah. Okay? And the connection to Allah is various ways, like asking questions about the religion, over here as well, being in the mosque, being around righteous people, reading and contemplating on the translation of the Quran, praying, making supplication, etc. All right. So, to your point about blaming the devil, that is a trick from the devil. That is a trick from the devil. And the evidence of that is the story of Joseph in the 12th chapter of the Holy Quran. It was there that the king at that time had a wife, and that wife was more than infatuated with Yusuf or Joseph, the great prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. She tried to seduce him, and it didn't work. Ultimately, he was thrown in jail. Okay, and over some years, he eventually was exonerated of he was exonerated. All right, and the wife of the king said, "I don't." Now this is this part right here. I don't. I do not. I don't declare my soul to be innocent, because souls are a constant commander of evil, except who my Lord has mercy upon. This is a very important and very powerful sentence, because she didn't blame the devil. She didn't blame the devil for her evil behavior. She blamed herself for her evil behavior. You understand? There's a difference between the two. And on the day of judgment, you can't stand before Allah and say, the devil made me do it. The devil made you do nothing. All the devil just say is do something like this. Look at her. Ain't she pretty? And then you do it. For example, did he take your head and say, look at her? No, I ain't do that. You know what I mean? Or this Shaykh Jibreel, man, I don't know about him, man. He kind of wild, right? You talking about me? I don't like that. For example, the devil ain't tell you do that. You just took the invitation. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? All right. So anyway, I got to stop talking here. We ask Allah, the Most High, to bless all of you, to grant you the good of this life and the hereafter, to bless you all with this beautiful month of Sha'ban, to keep you alive so as you can experience the beauty of Ramadan. May Allah make you all successful, continue to elevate you in rank in this life and the next, and make you soldiers of good and benefit to everybody that you come across. Ameen.
Ameen. Let's get a loud Allahu Akbar on 3 for Shaykh Jibreel. 1, 2, 3. Allahu Akbar. Excellent. A few announcements. Just give me a few minutes, brothers and sisters. Number 1, we're going to pray Isha in a few minutes, 7:30. Number 2, don't forget about this Sunday's class. Ustad Tabari is going to be here. We're going to continue talking about Ramadan. Number 3, Fast with the Muslim is set for March 1st. That is the event that we're doing to encourage non-Muslims to come to learn about Islam. So you need everyone to invite at least one non-Muslim co-worker, family member, etc., to come for that event again. A number of people have already signed up. We just released it a few days ago. So please, you can see the online post about that as well, and outside as well on the posters there as well. Don't forget about our merch station there. So the hoodies, as we said, we sold it. Alhamdulillah. Thank you guys very much for your support. We have the shirts now in Spanish, so please make sure to get those t-shirts as well. We would greatly appreciate it. And then lastly, of course, I need everyone's help to put the tables away. Friday night talk is going to be here with Sheikh Mohammed Zahid after Isha. But we do need to just put the chairs, but the tables we do have to put away. So everyone can help me out really quickly. We'll put them on the racks if it's okay. And then in a few minutes, we'll see everybody inside. Some extra food here, so help yourselves. And if I can have 2 to 3 volunteers in the kitchen, I would really appreciate it. Shaykh Jibreel, may Allah bless you. Really appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum.